Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to put a new tubeless tire on your bike wheel. These are the stock wheels that came with this remedy. So I decided that I'm going to go back to a setup that I know and I trust really well, and that is the Maxxis Minion. I'm going to go with the DHR on the back and the DHF on the front. So we'll get into doing the back tire. I did a little preparation on these last night. A friend of mine said that they'll seat better if you flip it inside out and let it sit overnight, because it's a folding tire, so it comes all folded up. So I flipped them inside out. We'll see if it helps it seat better. Of course, flip it back over when you go to put it on the wheel. The best way to inflate a tubeless tire is with an air compressor or with a floor pump that has a chamber that you can release a bunch of air at once. Today I'm going to show you how to do it with just a regular floor pump. This is just one I bought off Amazon. It's Schwinn. I mean, it's cheap. And I've been able to do it before, so I'm going to show you how to do it with this today. So I've already gone ahead and taken the wheel off, or the tire off the wheel. So then the next thing you got to do is you got to make sure that everything gets all clean, that this whole track gets cleaned out from all the previous sealant that was in there, and make sure that there's no residue there and that it's all dry. So I cleaned this off this morning. I washed it really good with soap and water, kind of let it sit out in the sun to dry out a little bit after I dried it down with a cloth, just to make sure there's no more moisture in it. And so once you've done that, then you're ready to go ahead and try and seat the tire. All right, something that's really important to do is make sure that your tire is going in the right direction. On a Maxxis tire, it's on the side that just has the yellow Maxxis, and you can see right here, it gives you the direction that the tire needs to rotate this way. So when you're looking at the direction for your wheel, remember that when you're riding, the cassette is on your right side and the disc is on your left side. So the rotation is going to be this way. So I want to make sure that our tire says rotation goes that way, so we'll flip it around. So this is how it'll go on your wheel so that your tread is headed the right direction. All right, so when you are seating the tire in, you want the bead to go in this middle channel here to get the tire on, and then ultimately when you want it to seat, when you have air in it, it'll go over here on this side. This Bontrager wheel actually has like a little channel here. It'll seat into that. But you start off with it in here so it's easier to get the tire on. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and seat this on here. Start with one side. Get it to kind of seat down in that middle channel so it's easier to get the bead on. So see, we have the bead started right here in that middle channel. That'll make it a little easier to get this last little bit over the lip. Alright, so you do this kind of down on the floor, it's a little easier. Start on the opposite side. Or start right here next to the valve. Kind of work my way around. Get that down in the center as much as we can. And then just kind of pull the rest of it over. There. See, and then it gets all seated over around the rim. So now it's all around the rim. Now the trick is to get this to seat on the rim. All right, so I get it all hooked up. Kind of trying to pull the sides up as much as I can, and then pump some air in it. Start to feel some movement, and then you can kind of help it a little bit. Kind of gets the sides a little bit closer to that channel, and then I kind of pump like crazy. Yeah, getting there. Haven't popped right there yet. There we go. You can kind of see with this line right here. You can see that it's popped and it's in its place. I see that around all the way around. Okay, so now that it's seated, we can go ahead and let the air out and put some sealant in, and it will be so much smoother to get that pump back up the second time. All right, so once you have it at this point, the easiest thing to do is to just take the valve stem out and get a sealant injector and inject the sealant through the valve stem. I don't have one of those because I can't find it, so I'm going to do it a different way. It takes a little bit more work, but to kind of show you how it can be done a different way. All right, so I'm going to pop off the bead on one side so then I can pour sealant directly into the tire. So now this side is all off, the bead is all off. Now I can pull this out, and I'll just pour some sealant right into that. All right, so now we're just going to pour it right into there. We'll have the sealant and then we'll set this back into the rim and then try and get this bead to seat again. All right, so today I'm going to be using Stan's No Tubes tire sealant, and you can see on the back, kind of lists here on the side how much you should use for your tire. Mine is a 2.6 on this one. And so I'm going to need 3 to 4 ounces for that. But I don't have any way to measure it, so I'm just going to kind of eyeball it anyway. All right, so first we want to make sure that this is shaken up really good. Get all the particles mixed around. All right, so now we're just going to kind of see here on the side how many ounces are in it and how much you use. So let's start with that. Just kind of roll it around. Get it on that opposite side so we can pull this back in. And I've got this sort of the cardboard so it doesn't get kind of all over my garage. Just kind of pull that over. There we go. You can partially get it seated. Get it that way. And then pump a lot. So I'll get it seated on here again. It should be a lot easier this time because it's halfway seated already. The one side is seated. So just pump away. Yeah, it's getting there. So just keep pumping until about 30 psi. There we go. That's a good sound. All right, so once we've heard that, then swirl it all around. Get all the sides. All right. And then you just check the bead. Make sure it all sealed. You can kind of see this little line right here in the tire. If you see that all the way around, then you have done it right. Now if that's hiding behind your rim, then the bead hasn't set yet. So you gotta try and pull it and get the bead to set, but if the tire looks like that, it looks good. All right, so that's one way that you can put on a new tubeless tire, get it all seated and everything. It's probably the hardest way. It would be a lot easier if you had an air compressor. It'd also make it easier if you had the sealant injector that you could just go through the stem. That would make it easier as well. But I mean, you can get it done. And so we'll see how this tire holds up. We'll see how the seal holds, and yeah. So watch for more videos this summer. I'll be coming out with a new video each week on how to ride, things to buy, how to do some mechanic work. So be watching out for those every week on my YouTube channel. If you haven't already, click the subscribe button, give it a like, and come back and watch some more.